Hey guys, what's going on? It is a pretty rainy Saturday today. I was planning on going out to film a video, but the weather's just too bad. It's too windy and yeah, it doesn't really seem like a good idea. So I still wanted to spend today filming some sort of video, working on my camera skills, working on my filmmaking skills. So I thought, why not take a look at YouTube? Check out some of my favorite YouTubers that have more of a, I guess, cinematic style of filmmaking and get some tips and tricks on how I can improve my videos. So I thought about it a bit, and one thing that's been on the back of my mind as something I should learn how to do is to film good B-roll. Having a few B-roll shots to stick in between some of your longer sequences to vary it up or to give more detail about what you're talking about seriously seems to make a huge difference, and I feel like it would be a pretty big improvement for my videos. So it's something that I want to learn. Now, if you don't know what B-roll is, you've definitely seen it before. It's used in a lot of different types of videos. It's just a sequence or almost montage of shots that give more information about something. So it might be a montage to establish a location, to show your viewers where you're filming and to give some more details about that location. It might give more detailed shots about a product that you're talking about and show different angles and different features of the product. Or it might just be a good cutaway to give visuals to whatever you're speaking about. If I'm in this room and I'm talking about B-roll, I might cut to a few examples of B-roll just so you get a visual and understand what I mean. So honestly, B-roll is extremely versatile. If anything, it just varies up your shots and makes your films look more interesting. Now, I kind of get the premise of it. I know that if I wanted to shoot B-roll of this coffee cup, for example, I could set it down, shoot a couple angles, and slow it down a little bit to make it more cinematic. But I've tried it before, and honestly, it just doesn't look as good as what other people are doing. So I'm going to take a look at some of my favorite YouTubers, take a look at their videos, take a look at their tips and tricks, and see exactly what I can do to improve. And hopefully by the end of this video, my B-roll will look a lot better. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to start by YouTubing how to shoot B-roll. Okay, let's see what comes up. We actually have a lot of videos by one of my favorite YouTubers, Peter McKinnon. I watch him a lot, that's probably why. Okay, let's see. Oh, actually. Okay, so this is one of Peter McKinnon's videos. It's called the B-roll challenge. I've actually seen this one before, and honestly, it's kind of perfect. I didn't plan this at all. So, okay, so let me rewind. This is a challenge that he did 11 months ago, where he asked some of his viewers to pretty much practice B-roll by shooting a sequence no matter where they are, or in the most mundane locations, just to practice and see whether you can make any location that you're in more interesting. Honestly, it works incredibly well with what I'm trying to do, so let's actually start with this video.
Today, we're doing the B-roll challenge. When I shoot B-roll, I like to shoot both wide and tight. Some people only like really wide lenses, some people only like really cropped in lenses, but I believe that having both of these tools allows you to show one thing twice.
The only two lenses I have are 30mm and a 17mm. On my crop sensor camera, they look, that's equivalent to a 50mm and a 24mm, I think, something like that. So not way off of what he's using.
One more thing before we go outside. I'm gonna shoot everything at 120 frames per second. If your camera doesn't shoot 120, which is that nice slow-mo, you can shoot at 60 frames a second. Now, if your camera doesn't have 60 frames a second and you only have 24, use that to your advantage. Make your cuts, make your B-roll sequence a faster paced edit.
Okay, so then he talks about slowing down the footage. I already assumed this is something I'd have to do. Luckily, my camera shoots at 120, so I'm gonna try shooting at 120.
Now you can see the intersection behind me. There's not much going on. It's literally just a boring, straight up intersection. So the first thing I do when I'm looking to shoot B-roll is I find the details. So I'm gonna turn the mic around. I'm gonna do one little lap of this intersection so that I kind of get some ideas, feel it out, see what I can shoot, come back, and we'll make a plan. So let's do that now.
All right, so the first main tip that I got out of that is to make a plan. Walk around your location, think about the object that you want to shoot, and think about the most important, significant, interesting details of that location or that object are. What do you want to showcase? There should be a reason for everything you want to showcase. And yeah, what details can you display to give your viewers a better picture of the thing you're shooting B-roll of?
Okay, so you'll notice the first thing is that flag is just violently flapping in the wind, so I will for sure get that because that's good motion, good kind of representation of this area. There's lots of flags, so that would be number one that I see. Across the street, I really like the leading lines here, so maybe like a little kind of slider shot past this tree as the traffic goes might look good. And if you notice, looking at this, you can see the sun kind of just peeking through the trees here. I love capturing that kind of stuff in slow motion. It looks so good. Okay, right away I noticed my reflection in the mirror, so that could be cool to work with. The clouds look really dope, so maybe some kind of slow movement with this reflection, which is actually that building. That looks good. I really like how this pole looks, looking straight up to it. That looks really cool. So if we did like a spinning shot in slow-mo, along with this building and this old architecture, I think that mixed in would look cool.
Okay, so pretty much what I got from that video was to look for things with good motion, things that are moving and things that might make for interesting shots. Then look for anything else that you can make interesting shots out of, anything that would look cool slowed down. And 3, focus on things that bring out the uniqueness of the location and would give your viewer a more complete picture of what that location has to offer. Okay, so this is kind of like Inception here, but anyways, I edited some of that footage and I realized that I was missing some because apparently my memory card ran out of space and my camera didn't notify me in any way. So I'm filming this a little bit later, but I'm about to go film that B-roll sequence. I'm gonna get some B-roll in my bedroom, gonna take some mental notes of the stuff I learned, and afterwards I'll analyze it, see what I did right, see what I did wrong, see what I can improve on. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So anyways, here is the B-roll sequence. So that was the finished product. It wasn't that long, but that was actually pretty difficult to put together. There were definitely some shots in there that I loved, some shots that I didn't really like, but overall I'm pretty happy with the results. I definitely learned a lot, and there are definitely some things I'd like to change. So I took some notes while editing of things that I struggled with and things that I need to improve for the future. The first thing that I realized in that video is that it didn't really have a theme. Or at least the different things that I showcased in it didn't really end up relating. I went around my room and just tried to find things that I thought would look cool on camera, but I realized that like the fern and the coffee cup and a couple photos didn't really have any theme when put together. So that's something I have to work on. I think the images have to seem a little bit more related for my next B-roll sequences to seem more cohesive. Anyways, the second thing that I learned is that you can never have enough coverage. While I was shooting, I definitely thought I had enough shots to make this B-roll sequence happen, But when I was editing, it was a whole different story. I realized that I wish I had another shot of this, or a transition between this and this, or another variation of this shot. You can't have enough coverage, and the more options you have, the easier it is to edit after. So I have to work on that. I have to get more shots of everything. Something related to that is that, yeah, I realized that not all of my shots go together. Not all of them transition well from one to the other. And maybe next time I'd have to actually visualize how my transitions are going to look in post. Maybe plan the shots a little bit better about how I'm going to sequence them and move from one shot to the other. But that's something that I definitely have to work on. All right, and another thing is that when you're doing pan shots, when the camera's panning from one side to the other and showing different angles of an object, always pan at the same speed, so that if you're editing some of those pan shots together, the speed of the motion seems pretty cohesive and similar. Some of my pans were quick, some of my pans were slow, and together it just kind of ruins the flow of the video, and it's hard to edit those shots together. And the fifth thing that I learned is that keeping your camera stable is really hard. I try to do that whole thing handheld. I actually do have a gimbal that I need to practice with, but yeah, getting handheld shots to look good is actually really hard. And a lot of the shots that I took, I wasn't able to use because they were just too shaky. So that's something else that I have to work on. But overall, it was a pretty cool video. And yeah, the next one's going to be better. So anyways, thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.